back with another video. Today we're going to be talking about a budget family meal plan worth $250 a week.
Okay, so we had family number 2, which was a mum, a dad and 4 children aged 5, 8, 10 and 14. They weren't a very fussy family. They were looking for easy lunch meal prep to do on Sunday for the week, so that just meant packing all their lunches ahead of time. And they're a busy, active family who need quick ideas for dinner, and since they have so much on during the week, Sunday does happen to be a sit-down meal day with the family, and Saturday is finger food, and kids and parents aren't very fussy and will eat most foods.
So just a disclaimer, since we use some of the ingredients in other recipes, there's no point of adding in the prices because we usually get like big bunches. Like for milk, we got
if you buy in bulk, it saves money.
It saves money. Like we're not going to buy it for every recipe. So just a disclaimer for that. We're not going to add those into the price. So we have a pretty consistent and healthy breakfast every day, 7 days a week. So we're going to do frosted flakes for breakfast with milk, and on Sundays we do eggs with bread.
Everyone's going to be out during the day, so they'll bring their lunch with them. We're buying Cliff Bars so everyone can bring one per day. We also have strawberries for some fruit that they can bring each day. We have sandwiches with fresh bread, and we have like a choice of different toast ham, baby tomatoes, cheese and mayonnaise and Nutella.
So on Monday we have a special dinner, and it's pizza.
So for this pizza recipe, we chose a really easy one and easy to make with the family. So it serves roughly 4 to 6 people, as we also have a toddler. So the 2-year-old would probably not eat like a full person. So it's all ready in 45 minutes. And for this recipe, you're going to need pre-made pizza dough, half a cup of tomato sauce, 2 teaspoons Italian seasoning, 1 teaspoon garlic powder, 1 teaspoon salt, 1/8 of a teaspoon pepper, 2.5 cups pepperoni slices, 2 cups shredded mozzarella cheese, and 3 tablespoons of grated Parmesan cheese. So you're gonna want to start by punching down the dough and placing it on a 12-inch pizza pan and grease it beforehand. You're gonna want to pat it into a circle and then start on your toppings. So mix the first 5 ingredients and spread it over the crust. Then you're gonna want to put a few pepperoni slices on top of the sauce. Afterwards, you're gonna want to sprinkle with with both cheeses as much as you can, and then put the rest of the pepperoni on, and follow by repeating the cheese layer until you have like a pretty good consistency. Bake at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for 20 minutes or until lightly brown.
We have leftover budget for our family, so if they want to add ingredients to their pizza, then they can choose, because we don't know what specific foods they might like. So okay, so on the Tuesday, what are we cooking, Julia?
A Knotcraft dinner, because we actually want real
mac and cheese.
Yeah, so we're gonna do a recipe on that. Our ingredient list for the macaroni is going to include box elbow macaroni,
ground black pepper,
butter,
milk,
flour,
cheddar cheese,
salt,
and that's all for the ingredients. But we've picked kind of simple recipe, which just takes about 20 minutes to prepare, which is good for our family that's always in a hurry because of their active lifestyle. So it'll be ready in 30 minutes, 10 minutes prep time and 20 minutes cooking.
So just a review of how to prep the recipe. So you're gonna want to put some salt into a large pan over the oven and fill it with water. And then you're going to want to pour the macaroni into the boiling, and make sure the water is boiling. So you pour the macaroni into the boiling water, and you can stir it occasionally until it's cooked but like a bit firm, so like about 8 minutes. Then drain it. Afterwards or during, you can melt the butter in a saucepan over medium heat, stir in the flour, salt and pepper until the mixture is smooth, and then you can do this for 5 minutes. Afterwards, you can start to pour the milk into the butter flour mixture and continuously stir it for another 5 minutes until it's bubbling and smooth. And then you can add the cheddar cheese to the milk mixture and stir until the cheese is melted, so 4 minutes. In the end, you're just going to want to add the macaroni into it and make sure it's coated well and spread it evenly.
So this next recipe is actually one of Julia's personal favorites. She makes this one very often.
Yeah, I make it really often because I think it's like really quick and it's like a good thing like on the go, like especially since like the kids play sports.
What actually is this recipe?
It's a smoothie recipe, and it literally, you can eat it with breakfast, with lunch, with dinner. It's just very versatile. So basically, you want to start off with frozen ingredients. It doesn't matter if it's fresh or from the store.
So you can start off by getting frozen berries, and you can get that as a pack. So you can get strawberries, blueberries, and blackberries all together. 1 banana, 3 cups mango juice, and that's it. Then you just put it into a blender and you can find what consistency you like the most.
Okay, so how many people does this smoothie serve?
This smoothie can serve up to 6 people depending on how you cut up your stuff, how you split it. But yeah, it's a pretty good serving for, and you can drink it whenever on the go. Yeah.
So coming up in our show, we actually have a family favorite meal that's been passed down in
generations.
Yeah, generations. I won't reveal what that is yet, but you will love it.
Half a cup extra virgin olive oil.
4 cloves of garlic, peeled, smashed, then minced.
1 baguette.
1/4 cup of freshly squeezed lemon juice.
4 ounces Parmesan cheese, grated.
2 eggs.
Pepper.
Salt.
And 4 to 6 small heads of romaine lettuce.
And then we're just topping that off with 2 chicken breasts. Okay, so in a large bowl, whisk together the olive oil and the garlic, and then you let that sit for about half an hour.
Yeah. So step 2 is making the croutons. So while the oil is sitting, spread the baguette slices over a baking sheet and line it with paper or silicone mat, and then brush and spray the olive oil
or butter if you want, just on top of the croutons so that they cook, so that they're golden, because you don't want burnt croutons that don't have much flavor.
And then just broil for a couple of minutes until they're lightly brown.
Yeah. Don't leave them alone, you have to keep an eye on them. And then you're ready to make the dressing. So you add eggs to the oil garlic mixture and wait until that, whisk it together until it's creamy. Then you add your salt, pepper and 1/4 cup of lemon juice. Then you whisk in half the parmesan, taste, and then add more lemon juice if you prefer that. It's meant to give an edge to the dressing but not to overwhelm it.
Yeah, and then your last step is just tearing the romaine lettuce and chopping it up however you want, and then topping it with the dressing.
Okay, we've also included chicken breast. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna cut it up into strips of chicken breast.
Grill it with oil in a pan for like maybe 7 to 10 minutes,
You could put
depending
it on
how
the
you
barbecue if you want as
Yeah.
well. And then you just combine all the ingredients together.
Yeah, and then serve it immediately for best results.
Okay, so since our family's always so busy, we're having leftovers on Thursday. So when we make the mac and cheese, we've made it in bulk.
Yeah, so we can split it evenly and make sure that we have enough for 2 days.
Nothing quicker than takeout food.
Yeah.
And with a busy family, especially on a Friday night.
Especially on
they're
a Friday
always out
night,
of sport.
we want to make it like fun and like maybe like watch a movie. So we're going to order a large pepperoni pizza or whatever the kids want.
So for the sushi rice, you're going to need 3 cups Japanese short or medium grain rice, 4 cups cold water, 7 tablespoons sushi vinegar, 6 tablespoons rice vinegar, 3 tablespoons sugar, and 3 teaspoons salt.
Okay, so the family we're cooking for, or preparing this meal for, actually does have a rice cooker, which makes this meal a lot easier. So just chuck all the rice in there with the right amount of water and then put it on the white rice setting. And then once that's done, you can take your rice out and stir it with your sushi vinegar. And then you can start assembling your California roll.
So on the filling, you're going to want to use 1 pound imitation crab, 2 avocado ripe but still firm, 1 medium cucumber peeled and sliced, toasted nori seaweed, and just make sure you have any type of rolling mat to roll the sushi.
So what do we do now, Julia?
So you're gonna want to spread a generous handful of sushi rice onto the half sheet of nori, like, and then press it down with your wet fingers and like make sure it kind of sticks to the seaweed. And do this. Make sure do this onto the placemat.
Make sure it's all even as well, because you don't want the sushi to fall apart as well. And make sure that the nori has been properly done.
You're also going to want to make sure that you put the fillings in evenly, and afterwards you can start rolling it tightly with the mat. Once you're done rolling it tightly, you can start by cutting the full roll.
So that is enough to serve a family of 6. So what are in our pancakes, Julia?
Well, we're gonna start off with 2 cups of flour,
3 tablespoons of white sugar,
3 teaspoons baking powder,
1 teaspoon of salt,
2 eggs beaten,
2 cups of milk.
2 tablespoons vegetable oil.
Then you just are ready to make it. Once you have all your ingredients, you get a large bowl, mix the flour, sugar, baking powder and salt. So that's all your dry ingredients, and then you make a well in the center. So that's just a little hole in the middle of the bowl.
And then you follow that up by pouring in the milk, egg, and oil, and then just mix that until it's smooth. This recipe takes 10 minutes.
And it serves 8 people.
Just gonna end off with a really nice dessert ice cream, vanilla ice cream, and this literally takes 10 minutes, and there's like a scientific trick to this.
Okay, so our first ingredient is milk. You'll need 1 cup of that. Then you'll need 1.5 tablespoons of sugar
and half a teaspoon of vanilla.
That's not very much stuff, is it?
No, it's actually pretty easy. So how does this work? Like, what are the materials?
Okay, so just to prepare this, we'll need 2 to 3 cups of ice, crushed or cubed, doesn't matter. 1/3 of a cup of kosher or coarse salt. Everyone will have salt at home. Then you just need a couple of Ziploc bags. One's a quart size and the second is a gallon sized. Okay, so to start off, you'll combine the milk, the vanilla and sugar in a small plastic bag. Seal that bag tightly, making sure there's no air left in the bag. And then
Secondly, you're gonna want to mix ice and salt in the gallon-sized plastic bag.
So that's the bigger one. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna place the smaller bag inside of the large plastic bag and then seal the large plastic bag tightly.
Next, you're gonna shake the bag vigorously for about 5 minutes. Afterwards, you're gonna want to open them up and scoop out the ice cream from the inside of the small bag and then serve it immediately.
So for dinner, we've decided to make cordon bleu with French fries, and the cordon bleu is $9.67 for 2 packs, and the French fries are $4.47.
Okay, so for our Sunday family recipe, our family likes to eat dinner together.
Yeah.
So we've decided to make a dessert for this meal. This is actually both of our favourite meals.
Yeah.
It's a red velvet cake.
Yeah.
Okay, so our ingredients are half a cup of all-purpose flour,
Half a cup granulated sugar,
quarter of a cup of cornstarch,
quarter cup unsweetened cocoa powder,
half a tablespoon of baking soda,
1 teaspoon baking powder,
1 teaspoon of salt,
2 large eggs,
1 cup of buttermilk,
1 cup warm water,
a quarter of a cup of vegetable oil,
1.5 teaspoon vanilla extract,
half a teaspoon of distilled white vinegar.
and 1 tablespoon of red food coloring. So for the frosting we're gonna do,
We need 8 ounces of cream cheese that needs to be softened,
1.5 cup butter softened,
2 cups of powdered sugar,
and 1.5 teaspoon vanilla extract. So to start off, we're gonna preheat the oven to 350 degrees, butter 2 9-inch cake rounds, dust with flour and tap out the excess.
Then we're going to mix together the flour, sugar, cornstarch, cocoa, baking soda, baking powder and salt in a strained mixer on a low speed until combined.
Following that, we're gonna add eggs, buttermilk, warm water, oil, vanilla, vinegar and food coloring. Beat that on medium speed until smooth.
That'll just take a couple of minutes. And then we're going to halve the mixture and put half in one pan, half in the other pan.
Yep. Following that, we're gonna bake it for about 30 to 35 minutes depending on the thickness, and make sure to do the toothpick test.
And then we're going to cool it on wire rack for 15 minutes. And you have to do that before you put frosting on.
Now we're gonna make the frosting.
You put frosting on.
Now we're gonna make the frosting. So in a large bowl, beat together butter and the cream cheese until it's fluffy, and use a hand mixer or stand mixer for best results. Add in vanilla extract, beat until combined, beat in powdered sugar, 1 cup at a time until frosting is smooth.
Okay, so this is the fun part. Now you can assemble and frost the completely cooled cake.
Yep.